show us your routine and how you approach a shot in general and focus on alignment? Because, of course, as you know, we all...
routine is important, but alignment is more important. Well, how about we start with that?
Okay.
And the reason I say that is probably 90 to 95%, or maybe even 99% of the amateurs I play with have poor alignment. And I tell people, I think people always try to think of golf as like a singular or secular sport. I try and tell people, if you were a pitcher and you were trying to pitch to the plate, or if you were a bowler, I mean, would you try to bowl like this and then throw the ball down the lane? No, I mean, you focus on what you want to do. And I realize that, that's a sport that has motion involved, and all these other sports have motion involved instead of just starting from a still spot. But tennis being another one, I mean, you kind of are standing in the same spot, and I'm sure Dad used this example, but their alignment is, everything's perpendicular. In golf, everyone stands at an awkward angle to the line they're trying to play on, whether it be because you're trying to come over the top, or I find most people obviously aim to what I call the strong side, which is if you're a right-hander, you typically aim to the right, and a lefty, obviously, you aim to the left, because I feel like golf is, everybody's always trying to find power. And why not? I mean, everybody's obsessed with length. I mean, did the world fall in love with Bubba Watson because he was a great champion before he was a Masters champion? No, they fell in love with the fact that he hits it farther than anybody. No different than John Daly. I mean, certainly him winning the PGA brought him to fame, but his level of fame was increased 1,000% because he was Long John Daly. Everybody loved watching him hit it 340 yards. It's just, that's the fascination with golf, is everybody wants to hit it hard and hit it far, and then somehow, hopefully, you'll try and figure out how to hit it straight afterwards. They're more interested with hitting it far before they're more interested in hitting it straight. But obviously, I'm kind of getting off on that tangent, but alignment is way more important to me than routine, especially for the average golfer. For someone playing at our level, sports psychologists emphasize routine because it helps to simplify your thought process, in the sense that when you're in the heat of the battle, it gives you something to fall back on. Something that you can rely on, and hopefully that will help alleviate pressure, because typically as humans, when you get in pressure situations, your heartbeat elevates, you're breathing faster, and the mind is racing, and it makes it more difficult for you to function on a normal playing field. Your heightened emotions cause different things to happen. So the reason that they emphasize pre-shot routine so much is they say being able to rely on that as a way to help bring you back down and calm you down and get you in a better frame of mind to play a shot, instead of letting your emotions get the best of it. But with alignment, my easiest thing for alignment is we'll just use a straight shot, obviously, but regardless of what shot you're trying to hit, if I've got my ball here and I'm trying to hit it right at you, so I'll use a no-brainer spot here. Most people, they get so caught up in getting in there and getting set up, and they're so focused, and then so somehow they get turned around like this. But you're thinking about so many different things. The easiest thing about alignment is just picking a spot right in front of you. You step in. The first thing you do when you step in, before anything happens, is you set your club face down perpendicular to that line. And so right now, all I'm looking at is my club face going from the ball to, and I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you, I've chosen this divot as my reference point. And I'm gonna line that up. And then from there, what do? You come in and you have to be able to visualize, obviously, your parallel lines, but you just want to set up parallel to that line. So if I line my club face up there, even for the average 20 handicapper, you're not going to line your club face up there and then come in and start trying to do this. I mean, you're going to look down and go, whoa, something's not right. Naturally your body's going to want to step into it, and I think naturally people want to be perpendicular, but most amateurs, they come in here, what do? Their club face is aimed here, and they're doing this dance, and they're trying to hit it at you now, and obviously where am I? I'm 40 plus yards right when it comes down, and it could be more right than that even, depending on how far I'm hitting the shot. The most important thing about alignment is just that's the most simple thing I could ever tell anyone, and it is harder than it seems, in the sense that people, for whatever reason, it takes a little bit of work to register. But I mean, think about that. Possibly, it's like in bowling, you see the little triangles in front of you, you're always thinking about, what angle do I want to come from and which triangle do I need to start it over. In tennis, if they're trying to serve it wide, some of those guys, they might step a little bit farther out because it helps create the a little bit wider angle for them, or for whatever they might do. They have a specific thing that they go through, and most people, don't have just that simple step in their alignment process. And it's so simple, and I think it could help any golfer, even tour players. I mean, I've had times where my alignment gets off because I get lazy and I don't do such a simple, a simple part of a routine. And this is obviously can be a part of your routine. I mean, part of my alignment routine is to walk in and set that club up, and then set my feet up. And I haven't even looked at the target yet. I think the reason why people struggle with alignment is they come in looking at the target, trying to align to their target first, and it's so much easier to align to this target than it is to align to a target 180 yards away or 150 yards away. So if you've got it perpendicular here, well, obviously you're going to be set to where you're trying to go there. 99% of all amateurs' problems is the fact that they're not even set up in the right position to try and hit it where they want the ball to go anyways. And from there, what are you doing? You're just having to make manipulations and alterations to your swing to try and get the ball to go where you want it to go. And certainly you think you're lined up correctly, but you're not. So I tell people you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball and you haven't even pulled the trigger yet. So it's very important. If I had one thing that I would tell you to do for all else, I would say have good alignment. Because the problems that arise in your swing are going to arise from your alignment. 99% of the time, if my alignment gets off, my swing problems are a direct result of it, because subconsciously my body knows eventually after a while, well, okay, I'm missing it right, I'm missing it right, I'm missing it right. Oh, okay, now I'm going to start doing this and start pulling it. And then you start doing that on a regular basis, and by the time he sees me or something and says, oh, you're aiming right, we got to get you back here. Now I'm like, well, damn, I'm missing it over there left because I've been pulling everything from the right to try and get it to come back. So now I have to get my, so your swing gets messed up, then you got to fix it, then you mess up. It's like the domino effect. It's the worst possible thing. You need to have good alignment.